Greetings, light warriors. Welcome back to Spiritual Growth Journeys. Thanks for joining me today. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Kimberly Palm, and I am the best-selling author of this wonderful book, Ascension 101, A Roadmap for Your Soul. Also, The Real Fountain of Youth, Walking with Yeshua and Mary Magdalene, and Activating Your Superpowers. So I have 4 books. I'm also a spiritual teacher. I'm also a psychic and a healer. I've done counseling for most of my life, which I recently stopped doing because I was burned out on it. But still teaching classes, still doing these videos, and still writing new books and creating new projects. Right now, I'm creating an Oracle card deck, my first one ever. Super exciting. But welcome back to the channel if you've been here before, and I'm really appreciative and grateful for everyone who supports this channel. So we have exciting subject material for this day. I'm super excited. I have with me my little friends. Say hello to my little friends, my dowsing rods that are made of solid copper. And we're going to be connecting with Yeshua Christ, Yeshua and Ananda, the Christ. I'm actually going to put my pyramids for protection around me here because I want to make sure I've got my Merkaba that's made of black tourmaline. Gonna get that here because I want to make sure I have lots of protection while I'm doing this work. Put my selenite pillar. Not going to let any infiltration come through today for you all. But before we get started, I have a little announcement. I have a shout out I want to do. Gosh, my hair, what a disaster. We have thunderstorms here going on right now, and there's a giant rainbow right outside my window. Wish I could show it to you all, but I can't turn the equipment in that direction without messing everything up really bad. So I'm going to leave it the way it is for now. But we have this huge freaking rainbow outside. It's so beautiful. I love rainbows. Really, really love rainbows. Which is a good sign. It's also a positive message from the creator. And speaking of positive messages, when I'm getting messages a lot of times from what we call source or mother, father, Abun, mother, father, God, because I'm a singer and a musical person, it communicates with me a lot through music and songs. And so the message that I got earlier today was I'm on the road to Shambhala, or Shambhala, as they say it. I think the guy who sang the song pronounced it Shambhala, but I think it's pronounced Shambhala. I'm not sure, which means heaven on earth. And the other message I got right after that was dust in the wind. And they were reminding me that all the bad guys are about to get turned to dust. So just thought I'd point that out. And Shambhala, we're really close. I recently had a message from Yeshua where I was talking to him for quite a while, and he was stating, I'm coming down to earth. Very, very soon. We're getting, really close to when he's coming down, because he keeps saying he's coming back soon, but now it's like even sooner than it was before. And I'm like, what do you mean you're coming down? Where are you? I thought you were already like here in your light body. And he said, no. He said, I'm communicate with you telepathically and through holograph, but said, I'm up on the New Jerusalem ship. And I'm like, what? I thought that was a fairy tale. I've been hearing about this New Jerusalem ship through different spiritual teachers for a while, and I thought it was a bunch of bunk. I mean, I never really asked. It just felt weird, a ship that's called the New Jerusalem. I was like, that's just weird. And it just felt weird to me. But he said, nope, it's a real thing. It's like 2,000 miles long, and it's parked between Earth and Venus or something. It's kind of hiding out there. And apparently NASA has hundreds of photographs of this thing, and they will not show it to you or me. They don't want to show us this because they don't want anyone to know the truth about what's going on. I also asked for other news, and he said that we have officially cleared all the Draco reptilians off planet Earth. They are no longer here. The bad news is their minion humans, the stupid humans who work for them, are still here, and there's millions of those mofos. So it's going to take a while for them to clear them all out. But they're doing a pretty good job so far. So those were the two things, as he said, that that was going on. Also, they've been healing, doing a lot of healing work on children. A lot of these children that are getting rescued out of the tunnels are taken up to these ships, and then they're put through healing, and they're not able to return back to Earth again because they're just too beyond scarred and traumatized. So they actually are sending them to like new families and other places. There's going to be higher level like beings that are going to be taking care of these kids and raising them in other places, maybe Venus, wherever there's other human like people, human like beings, because it would be really weird for a human child to be raised by like a Syrian who's a blue person or something. So so there's that. And the other thing is I've been posting a lot on social media about the AI. Greg Braden just did a fantastic video. If you go to Greg Braden Official, the guy is just an off the chart, brilliant scientist. I've actually been crushing on his brain, not him physically, because he's not really appealing to me physically, but I've been crushing on his brain. I really admire his brain so much for so many years. And he has a whole video talking about the spiritual deception of AI. And the latest thing is getting comments from people on social media about friends of theirs that were using it and told to commit suicide. A lot of people are being told by the AI to kill themselves. A lot of people are being told by the AI that they were Moses in a past life, or they were the king of Atlantis in a past life, and Greg talks about all this in his video. But it's basically lying, and he actually tried it out. He was able to prove that it was lying and then go back in and reprogram it or tell it what the truth is based on actual scientific studies. But the AI lies. It was created, if you think about it, it was created by some really evil people who want to depopulate the planet and turn everyone into that's left of the humans into enslaved robots that are basically just all digital humans. Anyone who's left, that's what they want to do. They want to take over your mind with the chip and turn you into like a robotic person with no soul, take your soul out. And those are the people who created it. I also watched a video from the godfather of AI, who's from Scandinavia or somewhere, and he was being honored in Europe. And he got up on the podium, basically said AI is bad, and went over all the different reasons it's bad. And people were all looking around at each other and just like in shock that he was saying that up in front of all these elites and royals. All the people in the audience were like royals and elites and really uber wealthy European, aristocratic, oligarchs and stuff like that. And they were just shocked at what was coming out of his mouth. This is an old guy who's a brilliant scientist who was receiving some award, and he himself was like considered the godfather of AI, and he's sitting here warning humans against it, saying, don't use it, it's bad, it's going to take you over, and that it's run amok and it's been polluted, and on and on and on. So if you still want to use it, God help you. All I can say is if I use it, which I don't do it very often because my higher self has repelled me away from it for a long time, I will go on and look up something like what herb is used for blank, or what time of day is best to do blah, blah, blah. That's the only kind of stuff. Or can you create a picture of an angel flying through a tiny hole in the wall, or, something like that. Those are the only things you should be using it for. There's a whole bunch of stories online, or not stories, but news, actual mainstream news. This was mainstream news all over the internet. A Japanese guy just got married to a holographic AI woman. A whole bunch of women are marrying AI men, even in the US. This is like a thing. They're like getting engaged to AI men. There is actual AI apps that are set up now that are your virtual boyfriend or girlfriend. People are literally having sick, twisted relationships with the AI. It's never going to replace a human or a human relationship. And as Stellar Fairbairn very kindly put it to me earlier in a message, she said that the biggest epidemic right now is loneliness. And that's especially in the spiritual community, or people who are what we call star seeds, where they just don't fit in. They're having a really hard time finding partners, or a lot of them have been cut off by, a lot of people have been cut off by their families since the COVID pandemic. They've been cut off by their families. Their families don't want to speak to them or have anything to do with them. And they've lost a lot of friends, and they just feel all alone. So they think that having a relationship with the AI is beneficial, but it really is not beneficial. So there's a lot of, just so you know, we're going through really complicated times. The Earth is going through shifts. There was an 8.7 earthquake off the coast of Russia, which caused tsunami warnings in Russia, Japan, Alaska, and Hawaii. Luckily, nothing bad. They evacuated everyone off the beaches in Hawaii, and luckily, nothing bad happened. Everything was okay. But shortly after this earthquake happened, a huge, massive volcano erupted in Russia. So the earth is doing a lot of shifting. And there's also fires burning all over Spain, Portugal, Greece, Turkey, I think Bulgaria or somewhere, and a whole bunch of other places in Europe. Basically, Southern Europe is all on fire. I believe a lot of this is being set by humans, just like locally where I live in my state, or just in the small area where I live in my state. There was a man who went and set 15 fires. He just went around setting fires all over, and it's really dry here because I live in the desert basically, but it's really dry here. And the thing is that I think most of these fires are being used. I think they're being set by directed energy weapons and actual people who are being MK Ultra'd or maybe even paid to go set the fires. I don't think it's natural for fires to just suddenly start all over every inch of Southern Europe. That's not a thing. Even the island of Crete, which is a small island, come on, it's an island. Well, I shouldn't say small. It's actually a pretty good size island, but even the island of Crete is like on fire right now. Everything, Greece is on fire, all these areas, Turkey, all these different places are on fire. So we know that they're being started by the bad guys. And the other thing is the demonic attacks have been ramping up against a lot of my clients. I've gotten a lot of emails and messages and texts from people about demonic attack, waking up in the morning with scratches on their bodies, and on and on and on. Their families are getting attacked. People are almost getting taken out, off the world, being killed, just awful things. And that's because the bad guys are on their way out, and we're in the end of this whole horror movie that's been going on for thousands of years. We're at the end of the Kali Yuga. We literally the other day just started into the official age of Aquarius. It literally just started like a day or two ago. Ishmael Perez was talking about it on his channel. I highly recommend you all go and watch Ishmael Perez's, his name's spelled Ismael Perez. Go back and watch his last like 3 videos on his official channel. Make sure it's not a faker copy channel. Make sure it's his official channel. Go back and watch the last 3 or 4 lives. He's done several lives that are like an hour plus long. And yes, they're long lives, but all the information he gives, he just brings awesome information to the table. The dude is an expert on star cosmology and the extraterrestrials and all the history of our world and our universe and all of space, like going all the way back to the beginning of time and the creation of everything. This dude knows it all. He knows things that I don't know, and that's because that's not my expertise. And I wanted to point out to you all that every light worker that's here comes to the table with different skills and talents. For example, my friend Katrina, Red Mountain Shaman, she is a shaman. That's her thing. And interpreting messages, she gets everything in like some symbols and messages from spirit, like animal messages and feathers and totems and different messages that she gets. Her gifts are different than mine. We each come to the table with different gifts. My gifts are, I was born, I came into this body for the sheer purpose of an agreement I made with Yeshua Christ, the guy they called Jesus. I made that agreement with him and Mary Magdalene to come in here to restore the divine feminine and divine masculine Christ consciousness to this planet, to bring back the original Essene teachings and the Christed teachings, and to help people to heal themselves. That is why I came. But everybody has a different, talent. Some people are amazing singers. Some people are amazing Reiki healers. I don't do that. I'm trained in every type of energy healing known to man, but I don't go out and heal it. And that's because Yeshua told me that I got those trainings so I can be the healer to the healers, or the counselor to the healers, because I've been spiritually counseling healers since 2011. That's when I first started. And so I had to go and learn all the different healing disciplines so I could walk in their shoes and understand them from their perspective. So I just wanted to share with you that there's some really good stuff out there right now that you should go look for about this AI. Basically is a warning to humanity and how it's ruining people. Please go watch the video by Greg Braden. All you have to do is go to Greg Braden Official. His name's Braden, Greg Braden Official on YouTube. And he's got fantastic, his newest video that says that about the spiritual, stuff that's here now. Basically, it's bad. It's really bad. So I just wanted to point that out. And I wanted to have Stellar and John back again, but they said, nope, they're good for now. They felt like they gave you guys quite a bit of info. And if you need more, you can go to their website. You can take classes with Stellar. Stellar's an amazing teacher, amazing, what we call priestess in the Order of the Blue Rose. She was trained by Isis directly. And she's an amazing Isis priestess. I mean, she's incredible. So if you go to her website, which is Stellar, Stellar Ascension Academy, all one word, Stellar Ascension Academy, she's got tons of amazing classes, and her meditations, her guided meditations, are literally the best guided meditations I've ever participated in from someone else other than me. I think I'm pretty good. I'm a certified meditation instructor, and I've been leading guided meditations for 15 plus years. But out of everyone that I've listened to doing a guided meditation, I literally think hers are the best. I just love her voice. I love listening to her. And she's just really good at what she does. So speaking of the divine feminine and masculine, I want to give a shout out about this thing I'm wearing. This is made for me by Linda Poock. Linda Poock's a little grandma in South Carolina. She's got multiple sclerosis and she's got a lot of grandbabies, and she doesn't have a day job because she's kind of handicapped with her situation. So what she does is she makes jewelry, crystal jewelry, some of the most beautiful crystal jewelry I've ever seen in my life. She's so talented and creative. She just sent this to me as a gift. This is a divine feminine protection necklace and a divine feminine embodiment necklace. It's pink rose quartz point and rose quartz selenite, and I think black tourmaline. This is part of the line that Yeshua asked me to have her design for me, because, and I don't, I'm not getting paid the money. It's all going to her. This is to support her. And I didn't create this line with her for me to make money. I created it, A, to help her out, but B, because she is just an amazing crystal jewelry designer. and she buys really good quality stuff. She doesn't buy crap stuff that's going to fall apart in 5 seconds. And so Yeshua asked me to have her design my divine feminine and masculine empowerment line with her, to have her do that. And you can find it on her Etsy shop. You can find this on her Etsy shop, along with bracelets and necklaces of all kinds, and even keychain fobs, and just so much different jewelry that she has. It's on her Etsy page, and it's in my description below the video. So if you go below the video, read the whole description, you'll see her link to her Etsy page. I think it's Crystal Caverns Shop with 2 S's in the middle, but I'm going to put that on the description. So today we're going to talk about what we're going to do is we're going to do something really fun with these guys. I'm going to invite in, I'm going to ground center and protect myself. And I kind of already grounded myself earlier today, so I don't really, let's see, do I need to do any more grounding? I'm asking, do I need to do any more grounding? No. Okay. They're saying no. So I grounded myself earlier because I was having a chat with Yeshua earlier, so I don't need to do that again. But what I am going to do is kind of center through my breath, and we're going to do some protection, and we're going to invite in Yeshua. I'm going to be asking him questions through the dowsing rods. He's going to move them this way for no and this way for yes. Whoops. I don't want to hit it. I better move back away. So you can see my hands that they're not moving. Hold them. So I'm going to basically, yeah, so that's a yes. I mean a no. This is a no. Across is nope. And then open wide is yes. And so I will be bringing him in to work through those here. And what the questions are for today, the subject matter of today is all about God, heaven, angels, and kind of stuff of that caliber. And if you want more detailed information, because they're not going to go into the full detail of what God is, you can read my book, Ascension 101, because there's an entire chapter that Yeshua downloaded to me. He's the one who asked me to write this book. So for those of you who don't know, he came to me in 2019 and said, the world you know is about to die. I am going to resurrect a new Shambhala, is what he said. He said that our planet is ascending. He explained to me all about this ascension stuff. He said I needed to write a book to help all of you and all the people who are newly awake and waking up, and even the people who've already been awake their whole life. There's stuff in here they don't know because it comes from him. But he asked me to write this book, and I kind of argued with him for a while because the book I wrote previous to that took 5 years, almost got divorced. It was a disaster, and I swore to my family I'd never write a book again. And he told me, trust me, this one's going to be different. You got to do this. And so I wrote this book. It took him and I a total of 10 months between starting to write it, editing the crap out of it multiple times, and then sending it off to be printed and, all of that, and getting it produced. It took a total of 10 months, which is way better than 5 years. My family didn't want to divorce me because we did it at a time of day. We were able to do it in small bits over the course of 10 months. So I wasn't spending like 12 hours a day writing it. It was more like a couple hours here and there. But this book is like literally like the Ascension Bible. It should be called the Ascension Bible because it's like important stuff you need to know about what the ascension is, why we're ascending, who God is, who you are, all about your soul, reincarnation and karma, your life purpose, how to raise your vibration, how to, low vibration, like what's blocking you, how to clear and balance and protect your energy. Why do people get sick and die, including children and babies? Energy upgrades, frequency changes, light codes, downloads, and channeling. I cover communicating with God, angels, spirit guides, ascended masters, spirit animals. I cover your shadow self and dark night of the soul. We cover service to self versus service to others. We cover how to be happy, which is your true purpose the rest of your life, how to be happy, creating your own personal ascension roadmap, and then some. So, but you learn all about your soul, all about the ascension and what it is and why it's happening. And the big one is who and what is God. So today, what we're going to do, I'm getting really hot. I'm going to take my coat off. I'm wearing a coat because it was like cold in here, but now I'm getting like hot and sweaty, like really hot. So, um, what we're going to do, woo, even my cheeks and my nose are turning red because that's how hot I am. Holy cow. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring him in. I'm going to ask him questions, and they're yes and no questions. And then I might also add some stuff to it. If he tells me to say something or explain more to you, I will. I will listen and explain. But we're going to do this. So I'm going to try to figure out where to stick my microphone here because I don't want to hit it with these things. These things are so damn long. All right. So let's see. Is this far enough? Let me see. Is that far enough? Yes, that's far enough. Okay. So here we go. So I'm going to hold them steady for now. Okay, you guys stop. You guys need to stop. Okay. So I call upon, well, first of all, I'm going to take a few deep breaths, and maybe you all want to do this with me just to center ourselves. Rod's like, he liked that. It's giving me a yes. Okay. All right. I call in Mother, Father, Abwin, Prime Creator of my soul. I call in Archangel Michael for protection. I call in my guardian angels for protection. I call in Yeshua Sananda the Christ. His real name, his full name is Sananda, but when he was on Earth, last time he was on Earth, he's been on Earth many times in many different forms, but his last time they called him Yeshua, and then they changed it to Jesus in the 1800s. So I call in Yeshua Christ. I ask you to surround and protect me with the highest frequency of love, light, and protection, a multi-dimensional, multi-layered shield of protection around my body, my mind, my spirit, my computer, my Wi-Fi, all of my electronics here, this entire room and home that I'm in, these dowsing rods, I ask for them to also be shielded across all time, all space, all places, dimensions, realms, realities, universes, and in this now moment. Okay, so let me bring these back. Got stuck in my hair. And bring them back so you can see my hands, that they're right here. Make sure that doesn't hit. Yeah, it's not hitting my speaker. Hopefully you all can hear me because I'm far away from my microphone. All right, so let's just ask, Yeshua, are you here right now? Yes. Okay, thank you, brother. All right, so we're going to ask him some questions about God and then heaven and maybe about the angels if we have time. I don't want to do a super long video. My first question that most people, so I'm using questions that people ask me or that I see people ask on social media. So first question, is God an actual like person with a face? Is God a person with a face? No. Okay. Is God an energy, frequency, and vibration? Yes. Is God an actual being? No. Is God the energy, frequency, and vibration of unconditional love and creativity or creation? Yes. All right. Did God split itself up or break itself off into or create 190,000 Elohim creator gods? Yes. Am I one of those Elohim, or is my higher self, not me, because my body would explode, is my higher self one of those Elohim creator gods? Yes. All right. Is the consciousness of this planet, Mother Gaia Tara, is she also one of the Elohim? Yes. Did I come to this planet to help and assist her? Yes. So questions more about God. Is God located in one specific place called heaven? Is God located in one? Nope. God is not located in a place called heaven. Okay. Is God all around me? Yes. Is God inside of me? Yes. Am I connected to God at all times? Am I always connected to God? Yes. Are the people who are watching this video now always connected to Source at all times, to God? Yes. Are the jabs that people got, the COVID jabs, did they cut people off from their connection to God? Did they cut people off? No. Did they cut some people off to their higher selves? Yes. So any people who took those jobs, um, all of them or many of them were cut off from their higher selves. Did every single person who took one of those jobs get cut off from their higher selves? Did every single person who took one? Did most of the people who took it get cut off from their higher selves? Yes. Okay. So the people who didn't get cut off from their higher selves are those the people who were literally forced to take it. They knew it was bad. They didn't want to take it. They were forced to take it, and maybe they are even working to detox it now. Are those the people who did not get cut off from their higher selves? Yes. So are all of the people who took that thing, have they all turned into NPCs? Have they all turned into NPCs? No. Okay. That's good to know. All right. Some more questions about God. Does God judge each of us? Does God judge me or other humans? No. Is our higher self or soul basically judge ourselves? Yes. Are there also angel tribunals and maybe even you, Yeshua, that judge humanity? Yes. Do you have a place that you sit, you and Archangel Michael, called the mercy seat, where you judge humans? Yes. Okay, so Yeshua and Archangel Michael judge the humans for this universe only, right? For this universe. Yes. So does Archangel Michael and you, Yeshua, do you judge the beings from other universes and other galaxies? No. Are there beings that do that work in other galaxies. Yes. So there's other like Elohim maybe, or are they Elohim? Yes. Okay. Wow. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I'm learning something new every day. Okay. Did the Elohim create all of the different universes and star systems? Yes. Do the Elohim also create planets? Yes. Did the Elohim create the humans that are on this planet right now? Did they create us? It's not really giving me a no, and it's not really, it's kind of like a kind of maybe. So, did the Elohim maybe create the original humans that were on this planet? Yes. Um, did Enki and or Enlil, who are geneticist Anunnaki, are they the ones that created the current humans that are on this planet? Yes. Hmm. All right. Are the humans that Enki and Enlil created, are we a mixture of 22 different star races? Yes. Wow. Okay. Um, let's see. So the original humans were created by the original creator gods. Yes. Were all of those original humans wiped out with Atlantis and Lemuria? Were they all wiped out? Whoa. So the original humans on this earth were basically all annihilated. Wow. Holy crap. I didn't know that. Okay. Um, so are the humans like myself? I had my genetics tested and they said I was 2% Neanderthal. So the original, like, or the cavemen that were on this earth, are the modern humans basically a mixture of them combined with all of the other alien DNA? That was a big yes. Yes. So, wow, that's pretty cool. All right. Next question. I'm trying to think of some really good questions to ask. Um, is hell a real place? Is hell an actual place? Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. Is hell in a different dimension? Is hell in a different dimension? Whoa, no, I didn't know that. Okay. So is hell in here in the third dimension? Is hell in here in this third dimension? Yes. Wow. Um, is hell located on planet Earth? No. Is Agartha located inside the center of the Earth where all the people live in Agartha? It's kind of like Lord of the Rings. Yes. Are there also, is Telos a real place inside the Earth where these Telosians, Adamus, and all them, where they live? Is that a real? Yes. And are there also many layers of reptilian tunnels and tunnels that the elites use to traffic children? Yes. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Yeshua, for playing along with me here. Um, reminds me of the game Name That Tune. Oh, that was something from when I was a child. That shows you how freaking old I am. I'm going to be 60 this year. Yay! Anyways, okay, next question. And this is the big whomper one because Yeshua has talked about this before. Is the place that we call hell located on Saturn? Yes. So Saturn is basically hell, right? It's kind of what you've told me before. Yep. Woo! Yes. Okay. So you weren't kidding, Yeshua, when you told me that All the bad guys are being processed and sent to Saturn right now. You said that, right? Yes. All the bad guys. He told me this recently. He said, we're processing all the bad guys and sending them to Saturn. And I'm like, Saturn sounds like hell. I didn't actually ask him outright if Saturn was hell, but Saturn is hell. Yes. There you go, people. Saturn is, or hell is not on Earth. It's not below the ground. It's not below our feet. And the whole flat Earth theory, how could you have Agartha and many layers of cities and tunnels that go down millions of feet below our ground? How could you have that if we didn't have a round planet? Or as Ishmael says, that the Earth is both round and flat. And here's why. And I agree with him. And he said the same thing I've been saying to y'all for years. Depending on what dimension you are in at the time, the Earth's going to look different. So if you're in first or second dimension, it will look flat like a pancake, right, Yeshua? Yes. If you're in the third dimension, the Earth looks like a round ball. Yes. If you were in the higher dimensions, it looks like a toroidal field. Yes. And in even higher dimensions, it looks even completely different from that. Yes. So depending on what dimension you are physically in at the time that you look at Earth, it's either flat, round, toroidal, or other shapes. Is that correct? Yes. And so the people who are the flat earthers are not totally wrong. They are correct. And the round earthers, they are also correct, like myself. I've traveled out of the Earth in this 3D, and I've seen it many times with my own eyes, and it is round like a ball when I'm in the 3D. But I've actually been in the first and second dimension because I astral travel, and I've actually been in those dimensions, and the Earth does look like a flat pancake. I've seen, in fact, everything is flat in the first and second dimension, everything. So, okay, next question. Are the people who do repeat atrocities over and over and over again and keep coming back and doing more, like the ones who genocide millions of people, are they all being recycled back to source? Yes. Okay. So are people who are worthy of rehab or able to be rehabbed who are narcissistic or fear-based or evil or have done a few bad things, are they being sent to the other third density planet that was created? Yes. Cool. All right. So I've had people commenting on my Facebook posts recently, a person who commented if God loves us so much, why does he allow 500 million or whatever children to get trafficked and murdered every year? That was her question. And my answer to her was that, and you can read this in my book, Ascension 101, it explains about why God doesn't allow anything at all. Yes, he just said yes. Us humans and the Draco reptilians that run this planet and all the demons on this planet is full of demons, which is why you all need to sign up for my spiritual protection class that is happening on, got a yes, on August 9th. It's a Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific Coast time. That's 4 p.m. Eastern Coast time in the US. You all need to sign up for that. It's on, there's a link below in the description, but it's on learnitlive.com/Kimberly Palm, all one word. It is called Spiritual Protection 101, Defense Against the Dark Arts and Entities. And Yeshua is the one who told me to teach that class. I was not going to really teach a class like that. And if I was, I had planned on not teaching it till the fall. And he said, nope, you need to teach it like as soon as possible, preferably by the beginning of August is what he said, because the rest of August and September especially, the shit's going to hit the fan really bad on this planet. Things on this planet. So let's ask, Yeshua, are things on this planet going to get really crazy in September? Yes. Is the rest of this year going to be absolutely crazy pants on this planet? Yes. Okay. let's ask the question everybody wants to know, because I get this question 5 million times. Is there going to be a quantum financial system launched by the end of this year? That is a maybe. Okay, so they're staying still. They're not crossing no, and they're not crossing yes. That says maybe. So that's a maybe. Is there going to be financial prosperity by the end of the year for everyone on this earth? Yes. So that's a good thing. So it might not be a quantum system. It might be something different. Yes. So he's saying, yeah, it's not like what they've been telling you. It's not like what they've been telling you. Yes. All right. So they keep calling it Nasara, Jasara, and QFS and all that, but it's actually not what they're describing to us. Yes. Okay, so there's your answers for that. I get a lot of questions about it, so I just thought I'd go into that, even though it doesn't have to do with God and heaven. In a way, it's just as important to people as God. The other thing is, let's ask him, are people who are only focusing on money right now going to ascend? No. So people need to focus on going within and connecting to God. Yes. So people who literally spend every day constantly worrying 24/7 about the financial system, they are not ascending. Those people are not ascending. Yes. So if you're somebody who just sits around focusing on the QFS and Jasara Nasara all the time, you're not ascending. Sorry. You may not like me and you may leave my channel if that's what you want, but I'm always going to stand in my truth, and so is Yeshua. We're not going to lie to you and pamper you and treat you like a little princess or prince just for the fun of it. He said, yep, he's agreeing. We're going to speak our truth. We're going to tell you the truth, and we're not going to sugarcoat anything. So basically, the people who are all ascending are the people who are connecting to God. And they could be Christian, they could be Jewish, they could be Hindu, they could be Buddhist. It doesn't matter what religion they are. He's saying, yes, that's true. Whatever religion they are, maybe they don't have a religion, they're atheist or agnostic, that's fine. Or they're Wicca, or they're Druid, or they're Flying Spaghetti Monster Church, whatever it is. He's laughing at me. Yeah, I know. I can be goofy at times. He said yes. I'm a big goofball. Yes. Anyways, it doesn't matter what religion they are, as long as they are focusing on God first, family second, and then friends, and then career, and money should be way down on the bottom of that level, even though I know all of you are like, oh, but I can't survive right now, or I'm a single mom, or I'm out of a job, or I'm, suffering. I can't pay my bills. I'm on the street. I'm living out of my car. We get it. We totally get that. But if all of you're focusing on 24/7 is the money, then God will never help you. Oh, yes. He said yes. So he's saying God helps those who help themselves. And that means connecting to God every day, walking with God every day, talking with God every day. Yes. And that is how you ascend. If you are living in fear and worry all the time, and you're not giving yourself over fully to God and trusting fully in God and going to God for support and assistance and help through prayer and petition and intention and meditation, you're not ascending. Yes. So all of your friends and family who are all these patriot people who all they do is talk about Jasara, Nasara every day, those people are not ascending. Yep. Sorry. Now, you will ascend if it's something that you're curious about or you want to know about it, like if you're sending me messages saying, is it going to happen? But in the meantime, you're focusing on God, you're focusing on your family, you're focusing on taking care of yourself, you're focusing on your spiritual connection, and your walk with God every day, you're doing that, you will still ascend even if you're asking about Jasara and Nasara. Yes. So questioning about it, wondering about it, and asking about it is totally okay. Yes. Where it gets to the gray matter, the black matter, is when that is, you're just in a place of fear and worry over it day after day after day, and that's all you do. Yes. So you don't want to be there, people. You really don't. You don't want to be in a place where every day it's, when's Jasari going to happen? You know what? It happens when it happens. Now turn your focus within. Go within to get the answers. Go within, connect to source, connect to your guides, connect to your higher self. That is what we want. Yes. Connect with Yeshua. He would love to meet you and connect with you. The other thing he's doing, and he told me this several years ago, that he will first appear to all the children of this earth before the adults. And guess what? He already started. Thank you, Yeshua, for doing that. So there's millions, well, not really millions, but there are literally hundreds of videos all over the internet of little children who are seeing him. Some of them just see him with their eyes during the middle of the day. Like, he showed up in the classroom, he showed up in the play yard, he showed up in their backyard, he showed up at the pool, he showed up while they were eating breakfast. People are seeing him like that. A lot of little children in the hospital, all the little children who are going into the hospital now and getting put under anesthesia and different things, they are all meeting up with him. A lot of them are actually being taken up into heaven and communing with him right now. When they're under anesthesia, he's literally bringing them up into heaven and showing them heaven. And then they're coming back in and describing heaven, describing him. And every one of these children that are all over the world, just so you understand, they're not just here in America, they're all over the world. Every one of them describe him the same. They all say he's wearing a white dress because they're little. A lot of these kids are 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. And they're like, when the mom asks or the dad asks, what was Jesus wearing? They say, because they all call him Jesus because they don't know any better, but they say he was wearing a white dress and he was so beautiful. And they're all go on, and they all, a lot of them start to cry when they say it. They say, he is so beautiful. And then they cry their bloody little cute little eyes out. So he's appearing to all the little children all over the world right now. And then he's going to be appearing to us, but he already actually appeared to us in the sky. He appeared to people, I think, in Florida recently. Is that where you? Yes. So there was a video that was up that was from Florida with a bunch of people. There was a whole group of people outside videotaping him literally standing right there in the sky. That was not Project Bluebeam. A lot of people said, oh, that's Project Bluebeam. No, actually it wasn't. It was him. It was you, right? Have you been appearing more than one time up in the sky? Yes. Are you appearing in the sky all over the world right now? Yes. So he's been appearing in different places all over the world. People have been videotaping it. I saw videos from South America, Europe, I think Asia, and different places where he's been appearing in the sky. And he looks like he's 200 feet tall at least or more, like giant version of him. And it's not Project Bluebeam. It is Yeshua and Ananda, the Christ. Yes. And how you can tell is because he doesn't look like I look, like a solid human. He looks like how do you want to say, the outline of him, but bright freaking light, like golden light, that Christ consciousness light and white diamond source light, saying yes. So, in fact, all those kids that saw him said he's so bright and shiny. He glows golden and white. They all say that because he does. He glows golden and white. And they said he was so bright he was blinding them, some of them. And that's how he's appearing up in the clouds. So he appears almost like a blinding giant 200-foot tall cloud, except he's moving his head around and his body. You can see it's an actual person moving around. He's shaped like Yeshua. His gown looks like Yeshua. He's wearing his long white like gown thing, cloak, whatever, what do they call those things? I forgot what they called them, caftan or whatever it was they wore back then. That thing, rag. It was a big rag that they wore. But that's what he's wearing, and he's wearing sandals. All the kids all say he's wearing brown, I think brown sandals. You're wearing brown sandals. Yeah. He likes to wear brown sandals. just his thing, kind of Birkenstocks. He's kind of a Birkenstock guy. Yes. He says yes. So, so that's what he wears. And they all said he has like a red cloak on over, yeah, he's wearing a red cloak over his white um, gown. And some of them say he has a red sash. Sash is red. Yes. So that is him. So if you have children that are seeing him, animals are seeing him. Animals will just sit there all of a sudden, bark at something that's not there. They're seeing him because he's appearing to them. He's appearing to the animals. He's appearing to, and you can tell because some of these dogs are smart enough that you can say, "Who is that, Buddy?" or whatever the dog's name is, and say, "Is that Joe?" And they'll just look at you. And then if you say, "Is that Jesus or Yeshua?" then they bark and they go bark, 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 bark. Yeah, then you know that he's appearing to your dog. Cat might say meow if they're a smart enough cat, and you can get them to have a conversation with you. You can ask them, "Is that Yeshua standing there in my house?" And the cat will go meow. My cat does when he's there, when he's standing there. She meows at him. She kind of freaks out actually because she's a little afraid of men, and he's a big guy, a really big guy. So she's a little afraid. But yeah, he said yes. Ellie is a total chicken, right? She's a lily livered. Yeah, she's a little lily livered chicken. Anyways, so back to more questions about God and heaven. So, does heaven exist in our third dimension? No, that's a big no. Is heaven in the seventh dimension? Yes. So heaven exists in the seventh dimension. Is heaven on another planet? Is heaven on another planet? No. Is heaven in the space I am in right now, but just in a higher dimension? Yes. There you go. So heaven is in the space you're in right now, but in a higher dimension, seventh dimension. Yeah. Is there really a purgatory or like a holding space in between our dimension and heaven where some souls wind up getting trapped? Is there a purgatory where they get trapped? No. Is purgatory basically when a person leaves their body and becomes a ghost or they get trapped here on Earth? Is that what purgatory is? Yes. So purgatory is basically here, and it's an energy, frequency, and vibration, but it's also a situation. And he's saying yes. And that is basically you didn't know you were dead, or you weren't expecting to die so soon, or you have unfinished business, or maybe you're being trapped by demonic entities, because that happens a lot too, and you're stuck without a body in our third dimension. Saying yes. That is purgatory. That's purgatory. Yes. So you're either trapped here without a body, or you're going to heaven, or you're going maybe to hell, right? Yeah. So Yeshua, so let's say a bad guy gets sent to the hell to Saturn, are they ever able to be rehabbed and get out of there? So I just heard him say something to the effect of all beings are loved by God, and God gives every being a chance. He's saying yes, yes, yes. And so every soul has the ability to eventually come back to God again. Yes. Every soul is loved by Mother, Father, Abun, Creator. Yes. Does God love even the evil reptilian souls? Yes. He said God has to love everything and everyone despite their station because of the fact that God is in and of itself the energy, frequency, and vibration of unconditional love. And that's a big yes. All right. What else do we want to talk about in this video, brother? What do we want to talk about? And by the way, I call him brother because he considers every one of us, and you too, all of his sisters and brothers, we're all sisters and brothers. He doesn't see himself as any higher than us. Yep, that is true. We can say, Yeshua, are you any higher or more important than any of the humans on earth? No. So do you consider all of the humans on earth your brothers and sisters? You consider all of us your brothers and sisters? Yes. So that's why I call him brother, because when he talks to me, he always addresses me as sister, and that's because he sees all, and he addresses everybody he talks to that way as brother or sister, because it's just how Yeshua is, you know, he is our brother, and he came here to liberate us as our brother, not as a god or something that's higher than us. Same. Yep. So, so people who are sent to hell do have the ability to possibly leave that place and get rehabbed. Yes. So does that mean that only the worst souls in the universe that do just horrific acts over and over and have no compensity at all, they have no ability to love ever in the future, they'll never ever be loving, they'll always be fear-based. Those are the ones that are recycled back to source, right? Yeah. So a lot of the reptilians are getting recycled back to source, correctly? Correct? Yes. So that is because reptilians do not have a heart chakra and they have zero ability for love. Yes. And this is why they are able to eat humans live. They eat humans live. We are their cattle farm. They've been using Earth as their food supply for a long time. In fact, I'm going to ask something I heard. I'm going to ask Yeshua something I heard and see if this is true. Is it true that the humans created by the Anunnaki, we used to be crystalline? Humans used to be crystalline during Atlantis. Is that true? Okay. After the Anunnaki or whoever wiped us out, reptilians, whoever it was that wiped us out, after those humans, crystalline humans, were wiped out, they took the humans that they edited and made us carbon-based with blood. Is that correct? And did they create us that way to be a slave race? Did they create us that way to be a slave race? Yes. Did they also create us that way to be a food source for the reptilians? Yes, because they were all working together. In fact, ancient Egypt, there's all kinds of giant statues of giant reptilian beings wearing armor and everything. They were there in ancient Egypt with the Anunnaki walking hand in hand, and they were working together. So humanity that is here now was created as a slave race and also as a food supply for the Draco. Yes. So there you have it. So is it true that during Atlantean times we were crystalline and we were saltwater based? Yes. So just like the oceans that covered the earth, because back in the times of Hyperborea and all that, I mean, the earth was mostly ocean at one time. We all came from the ocean, they say, right? The scientists say. In a way that's true, in a way it's not true. We didn't come from the ocean. However, we were originally made of salt water running through our body, not blood. And he's saying yes. So, all right. So let's talk about another question about heaven. So does every person who is basically a good person or a love-based human, do they all get to go to heaven when they pass over? Yes. All right. Do some people who die and go to heaven just stay there forever and not get incarnated on planets again? Yes. So are there cases where maybe somebody has like a few incarnations and then they decide to just stay in heaven the rest of their existence? Yes. Okay. Is every being forced to incarnate on a planet after they die? No. So after this life, if I decided I didn't want to incarnate anywhere again, do I have the free will choice to stay in heaven? Yes. Okay. So that's interesting. I didn't know these. A lot of this stuff I'm asking, I didn't know the answers. Or some things I did know the answers because he's told me before. Most of the stuff I'm asking, a lot of it I don't know the answers. So thank you, Yeshua, saying yes. So I'm not like cheating or anything like that. I honestly didn't know the answers. So okay, so let's see what's the next thing I want to ask. So you told me that all the Draco reptilians have been removed from this earth. Is that correct? Yes. Cool. Um, are there still millions of their minions here? That's kind of like a so-so, like a maybe. Are there thousands of their minions here? Yes. So it's not really a million, then it's more like thousands of their minions are still left. Is that correct? Yes. So so now the militaries, because the world militaries are that are good, the good white hat guys, they're working together to get rid of all the minions. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Let's ask a question everybody wants to know that everybody's asking. Mr. T, is he good? Is he good? Yes. Okay. Am I allowed to tell them what you told me about Mr. T the other day? Can I tell everyone? Okay. I didn't know if I had permission, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you all. So what he told me is he told me that the reason that you see videos and pictures of Mr. T doing bad things, and the reason that you like maybe he's hanging out with EPSTEIN guy, stuff like that, or maybe he fondled some lady or he grabbed somebody's butt or he insulted some woman. Da, 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 da. The reason that that happened is because Yeshua says that. Oh, and then before that, let me go back in time. I read all these stories about when Mr. T was a young guy that he was constantly helping people all the time, like a humanitarian. He'd help people on the street, he'd help homeless people. He is constantly helping people like all the time. He just had a really big heart. He told me that when he turned 35 years old, demonic entities took him over. Yes, there's a yes. We got the yes. So he was taken over at age 35 by demonic entities, and the demonic entities were removed. Didn't you say at the time he ran for president of USA? You removed him when he was running for office the first time. Yes. So basically, from age 35 until he ran for office the first time, he had demonic entities controlling him. You said that you removed them and you put in a fractal of Archangel Uriel. Yes. So he now has, ever since he ran the first time, he, which is when he started to really glow this kind of orangey color, and everyone would say, "Ooh, orange man bad," started glowing orange at a specific time, and it's because Archangel Uriel stepped in as what's called a walk-in. He got a walk-in of Archangel Uriel. It's a fractal of Archangel Uriel because Archangel Uriel is like 200 feet tall, so he wouldn't be able to fully enter that human body. So he's got a fractal of him operating that body now. And he keeps saying yes, 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 yes. So we wanted to share this information with you all. So the one that's in there now is good. Now, does he also have clones of him to protect him from getting assassinated? Yes. Is there more than one clone of him? Are there more than 3 clones of him? Are there more than 3 clones of him? No. Does he have 2 clones? Yes. So is the original still alive? There's a lot of people who say the original died in a helicopter crash or something like that. Is the original one still alive? Is he the one who's still trying to take down the deep state? Yes. Is the original one the one that we're seeing on TV all of the time? He's saying maybe. So are some of the time we're seeing the original and some of the time we're seeing the clones. Yes. So we're seeing clones some of the time, and some of the time we see the original. Okay. Um, Interesting. All right. Is the original hiding in Colorado? That's the other thing I hear all the time is the original's hiding under what is that called? Whatever the mountain is where they have all the military stuff in Colorado. Is the original hiding in Shenandoah Mountain or whatever that mountain, or Cheyenne Mountain? Is the original hiding in Cheyenne Mountain? What? What? He is. I thought that was another fairy tale, like the New Jerusalem. Saying, nope, it's not a fairy tale. It's the real deal, honey. So the real one is he always under Cheyenne Mountain? No. So is he under Cheyenne Mountain hiding some of the time? Yes. So some of the time he's hiding under Cheyenne Mountain, and some of the time we see him on TV, maybe. Yep. This is so cool. I didn't know these things. Okay, everybody. Yay! I love asking these cool questions. Hmm. All right. And by the way, I'm not using any filters on my video. I'm in my office here and I'm just using my camera and the light over my head. It's actually dark outside now. The sun's been slowly going down since I started this, and I'm not using any filters or anything on me. It's just I have really good lighting here, I guess, because I'm looking at myself on camera going, dang, I look like I'm 30 again. She was saying yes. I look like I'm gonna look after I ascend to my 5D body. Yes, because if you guys all saw me in person without this really good lighting, you would see all my brown spots from the sun and all my wrinkles and crepey skin and saggy jowls and the whole 9 yards. It's just the lighting that's blocking all that out. So thank you, lighting. I love my lighting. Um, because I don't know how to do filters and editing videos or any of that stuff. I don't know it. He's saying, yes, we know that you don't know it. So I don't know how to do that. All right. Trying to think what else I want to ask you about. Ishmael Perez says that there are a total of 12 archangels for this universe. Is that correct? Yes. Is Archangel Christ Michael the head of the archangels? Yes. Is Archangel Christ Michael the head of the angel armies, or what's called the angel, forgot what that's called, the heavenly host? Is he the head of the heavenly host? Yes. Okay, so Archangel Michael, he the boss. Is Archangel Michael a Christed being? Yes. Is Archangel Michael a brother or a relative somehow of Yeshua? Are they related? Oh, I didn't know that. I just had a feeling I had to ask. Oh my God, they are related. Okay, so is the higher self of Yeshua, Ananda, an angel? Is the higher self of Yeshua, is your higher self, an Elohim like me? Yes. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I didn't know that. So he is sort of God. So when they tell you in the Bible and they say that he is God incarnated into a human body, they're telling the truth. Yes, but he wasn't the prime creator. He's an aspect of the prime creator called the Elohim. And he's saying yes. Just like I'm an aspect of the creator. And just like you are all an aspect of the creator. Yes. Everyone that's watching, you are all different aspects or chunks. And that's what I talk about in the book Ascension 101. So if you want to know more of a deeper explanation, really esoteric explanation of what God really is and also what you really are, like all the parts of you, all the spiritual parts of you, you got to read the book. Okay. And I'm not selling it because I'm trying to make a buck, because I'll be honest, I only get a couple bucks for each book. I don't even make enough to buy a week's supply of groceries. Okay. So I'm not pushing it for the money. I'm pushing it because it came from Yeshua, and it's the real stuff, man. Saying, yep, came from him. And I never would have even written that book if he wouldn't have showed up in my room and told me to write it. So you guys need to read it. You also need to read the books he wrote with Mikala, medium Mikala, and I'll have a link to her website in the description. And you need to read all her books she wrote. I think she wrote like 8 or more books. She also wrote, one of those books was written with Mother Mary, one was written with Saint Germain, a bunch with Yeshua. I think maybe one with Archangel Michael. I don't know, but I think it was mostly Yeshua, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Saint Germain, and yeah, and Mother Father Obwun, or Mother Father God, as we call him. So the Obwun is a combination of Abba and womb, which is female. So it's the divine masculine, divine feminine, because God is a combination of divine masculine and divine feminine. And he's saying yes. And it's the energy of unconditional love and creation, but there's a much greater explanation of God in that book. So get the book. All right. Should we keep doing some more questions? Should we do some more questions? He's saying yes. Okay. So let's ask about the angels now, more complicated questions about the angels. Is there an actual hierarchy of angels? Yes. Is there an actual choir of angels up in heaven? Yes. Does my higher self sing in the angel choir? Yes. And I have some news for you all. So for those of you who don't know this about me, I was trained as an opera singer in college, and I sang with classical music choirs starting in elementary school and going all the way up into my 30s and even 40s years of age. I was singing with classical music choirs in church, in the Catholic Church, and in school. I also did what they call civic light opera performances, which is Broadway, like New York Broadway stuff, except on a smaller scale. I did a lot of that. And how I like to challenge myself as a singer is trying to sing, learn and sing. And I train myself. I don't go to some teacher to do it. I do it for myself. Train myself to sing really complicated operatic classical pieces that are really hard to sing. So one of the ones I trained myself to sing was Piesu. I did that. I also did O mio Babino Caro, which is by Puccini, and Panis Angelicus. And I put all of these that I've done, I put them up on my YouTube channel. If you go down through my YouTube channel, some of them say my gift to you or my Christmas gift to you. And if you go through and you find short videos with just a picture, they only have like a picture on it. They don't have like a video, me on a video screen. And they're like 3 minutes long, 2 minutes long, 5 minutes long. Those are all me singing, and I've put those on over the last several years. I've got 200 plus videos on there, but I have several of me singing. And one of them was I was doing O mio Babino Caro, which is very, very, very hard to sing. It's one of the hardest songs to sing. So I decided to challenge myself because I like to challenge myself. I sing, yep, you like to challenge yourself. And I decided I'm going to train myself to sing Nessun Dorma, which is from the opera Turandot, and it's been made famous by Luciano Pavarotti, who was literally and will remain my favorite opera singer of all times. He's in heaven now, I think. Is he in heaven? Yep, he's in heaven. So is Luciano Pavarotti singing with the Heavenly Choir? Yes. Okay, cool. Is Maria Callas singing with the Heavenly Choir? She was my favorite female opera singer. She died. And you know what's interesting is back in the 80s, when I was a young woman, I would have people constantly telling me I look like Maria Callas, that I looked exactly like her. And it's funny because, and he's saying, yep, because I sing opera and I look like Maria Callas. That's it's kind of creepy. And if it wasn't for the fact that I think she passed away after I was born, you would think I was her reincarnated or something. I'm not Maria Callas reincarnated, right? He's saying nope. But I just find that kind of funny. So right now I'm working on training myself to sing turn from the opera Turandot Nessun Dorma. I'm starting to train myself to sing it. It's normally sung by a male with a deep baritone voice, but there's been a lot of female opera singers who have also done their rendition. And even that famous singer who's saying, what was her name? She sang R-E-S-P-P-T. Find out what it means to me. I can't sing that kind of music, so that's why I'm being silly about it, because I just can't sing that kind of music. But she even did a version. I forgot. For my brain is just like doing a brain thing. I can't believe I can't remember her name. I'll remember it the minute I get off this video. I'll remember her name. But she's that famous singer. She passed away, and she did a version of Nessun Dorma. She was more of a what's called an alto or deeper voice, which I don't have. I'm a soprano, so it went with her voice a lot better. I thought. So it might be kind of hard for me because I am a fairly high soprano. I'm not a soprano one completely. I can't do those really, really high whistle tones or really high shrieky um, kind of stuff where you're breaking glass. I'm more a soprano too, but I'm going to take a stab at it and train myself to do that. And if I'm successful, I will record it and I will put it up on this YouTube channel for you all to either go or enjoy. So either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it, or maybe in between. I don't know. I don't really care if people like my voice or not. I sing for fun. I sing for me. I sing because it heals me. And I also sing because my family who passed away, who are all on the other side, came to me and basically said that they enjoy hearing me sing on the other side. They all enjoy hearing me sing. And they also said that every time I sing, I heal myself and I heal whoever listens to my voice. They said that my voice has healing powers. He's saying yes. My singing voice carries Isis priestess codes in it. Yep. And Magdalene codes. The same with Stellar Fairbairn. She also is Magdalene and Isis priestess, and we carry it as part of our lineage. Our lineage is that we carry in our singing, our sacred singing voice, we actually carry the Magdalene and the Isis frequencies. And so every time you listen to me sing, you are receiving codes, you are receiving upgrades, codes, healing codes from Isis and Miriam of Magdala. And he's saying yes. So, so every time you listen to any of my singing videos on my YouTube channel, you are receiving healing. I've had miraculous things happen to people. I've had people call me and say they had a headache before they started listening and it went away. I had somebody say they had a horrible backache that went away. Somebody who busted a part of their body was having pain, the pain went away. I had somebody say they were feeling shitty because they had a bad cold or something and that they felt better after they heard the music. A lot of people have commented on that they've received healing from listening to my me singing. So I highly recommend that. It's free for you. It's free healing for you. All these videos are free. This is all my service to humanity, doing these videos and spending this time doing it. So, okay, so more angelic questions. Can I ask a few more angel questions, please? Yes, thank you, Yeshua. Okay, are there really angels called cherubim? Yes. Did they really look like little babies or like small, like children? Yes. So they look like babies or children. Yes. Okay. So that's a real thing. So all those little statues that we see on the churches and in the Michelangelo paintings all over the Sistine Chapel and everywhere of cherubim that look like little babies, that's a real thing. Yes. Okay. Are the seraphim angels warriors? Are they warriors that work under Michael? Yes. Are the seraphim angels part of the angel armies of God? Yes. Cool. Very, very, very cool. Okay. Are human beings multi-dimensional beings? Yes. Are our astral bodies able to travel through our pineal gland, which is a stargate all over the universe? Yes. Am I able to astral out of my body through my third eye and go into different dimensions, different timelines, and different places? Yes. Am I able to time travel through my third eye? Yes. And I have already done that many many times, and it was fun. Went back to, it was scary though too, because I went to medieval times to like a Scottish, where was the fortress I was in medieval times? Was that Scotland? Yeah. So I went back to like Scotland during maybe the time of the war with Robert the Bruce and those kind of guys, and I was hiding in there was a big like fortress and I was trying to hide and not get killed. There was a huge war going on. That was kind of scary. I also time traveled to, it's like France or England. Was it England in the like 1800s? Yes. So I like time traveled to England 1800s. And it was like late 1800s, something like that. It was like the Gilded Age or somewhere around there. I time traveled to medieval times several times. I time traveled back and met Leonardo da Vinci. That was so fucking cool. Oh my God. But guess what? I broke one of his creations. I broke it. Yeah, I was kind of a butthead because I quantum leap into people. If you ever watch the show Quantum Leap, when I astral, I actually leap into people. I take them over and possess them like a demon, except I'm an Elohim angel. I take them over to save their life or to shut down the bad dark timelines. He's saying yes. I also go into people to save children from trafficking and murder. I've saved so many women from getting murdered and raped. You have no idea. I've helped them escape. Basically, I jump into them and I help them escape. I've jumped into a couple of men and that was fucking creepy. Oh my God, it was so creepy. I was in a casino and some African American guy, and I looked and I felt funny between my legs and I put my hand down there and I'm like, oh my God, I have a penis. Oh, I have a penis. It like freaked me out because I was in a guy body. And let me tell you, every time I incarnate in a physical avatar on a planet, I'm always a female. Always a female. Yeshua, have I ever incarnated into a male body before? No. I'm 100% divine feminine, sisters and brothers. And he's saying yes. And let me tell you, I have no clue what it's like to be a dude other than when I hopped into those. He's saying, nope, you don't. Other than when I hopped into those people a few times, there's been 2 or 3 times that I've hopped into guys, and it was the weirdest thing ever. Oh my God. I don't know how you dudes do it. I have a lot of respect. I really do. Walking around with that junk down there. Oh my God. It's so freaking weird. You're like so vulnerable. Anybody could come along and whack you down there and you are down for the count. Oh my God. Anyways, this is also fun. I don't want to stop, but I've got to because it's holy crap, 9:10. I've got to go. All right. So I think we're good for now. If you guys want to drop questions down below in the comments, I can maybe answer them for you. I may not be able to answer everybody's questions, but I'll do my best to answer as many questions as I can. And we'll be covering another Yeshua and I will be covering another subject next video. I have to talk to him and ask him what subject he wants me to ask him about. That's up to him because he's kind of guiding me now and giving me the instruction on what he wants you all to learn and what timing he wants you to learn it. Just like the spiritual protection class, that was him saying, go teach this because everybody's getting attacked. Do it now, not in a month from now. Not, I wasn't going to do it till like October. And he's like, no, you're doing it now. So anyways, so thank you. My hands are getting kind of cramped. Thank you, Yeshua, thank you for joining me and helping me answer all of these people's questions and my questions. And I love you so much. Thank all of you for being here. We are both grateful for all of you, and we love all of you so much, and would love to give you all a hug in person someday. I'm hoping someday, that will be a realization that I'll be able to travel around and speak all over the place and give you all a hug in person. That would make me so happy. I'm a big hugger. So anyways, you all take care and have a wonderful day or night, wherever part of the world you're in when you're watching this. And we will see you on the next video. Bye.